If this doesn't terrified of people solving Rubik's Cubes, I don't know what will. Insatiable, Season 4, Episode 10. Let's get going.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Super white guy dance, snapping my fingers, looking like a fool.
But this is a good song.
It is. Duran Duran's
song.
Hungry Like a Wolf. Shout out to Iragaris in the chat for suggesting that song before we got started. We're talking about Season 4, Episode 10, entitled Insatiable, where we get the Hunger Demon tied in the Donner Party. Somehow made the world seem very small, with Ichabod knowing the guy who found the Rubik's Cube of Death.
Yes.
And then relating the guy to the Donner Party, and you know, all sorts of stuff that's just very coincidental.
It was very, very coincidental.
But it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was good. It was just coinkydink.
It was a lot of like, it was a lot of moments where you're like,
It's like, really? That's real easy.
yeah, really?
You press the easy button on that
but
one.
at the same time, I'd rather them get on with it as opposed to like get caught up in all this minutia about why things are the way they are.
True, true.
Jacob Albers asked, how about a Nick Hawley opening? No, I don't think we need Nick Hawley. I don't think we need Hawley this quickly. Okay, so first off, where can we find you, and who the hell are you?
Hey guys, Michael Young right here, holding it down. You can find me online at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA.
He always has to spell out one in case you don't know how to spell the number one.
And just in case you try to put the number one, you know, I gotta,
Yeah, he is not the number one.
Nah,
He's not the number one
but
anything.
I am the one.
You're the one?
Yes,
The Jet Li movie?
the one. I've killed all of my other proxies and other realities, and now I'm here to do after shows.
This is the worst opening of a show. Oh my god. Neil, did you get the wink on camera? Did you get the wink,
If
Neil?
you did, it's corny, but it's good.
Listeners,
It's a good corny.
I feel like you can be the villain in the next episode of Sleepy Hollow. First, right off the bat, creature design, liked it. It was awesome. It was good to get back into like creepy looking, super lanky, mouth biting,
weird and drooly spit.
Yeah, red eyes.
You kind of just wanted to wipe it. It was just It was nasty.
Only issue I had with it was it looked very similar to the spider thing from the third episode of the season with the eyes. But but it was cool.
Yeah.
And there's something inherently terrifying about just something forcing you to eat whatever's in front of you, whether that be people's faces.
The guy even started eating like the napkin, like it was like he just went in on it.
I would have liked to see a little bit more of that, because when the actor they cast to play Larry, rest in peace, Larry.
We love you, Larry.
Poor Larry. He was 2 weeks away from a promotion.
Yeah.
He had a fiance.
Yep.
They were actually, the real shame is that like he was on day 32 of his 33-day diet plan.
Ah, yeah.
So like if he had just gotten through that meal, he would have successfully completed on his phone app the 33-day diet.
That's right.
But because of the Hunger Demon, totally screwed that up.
Totally blew that.
The app was like going off the charts with calorie readings. It's like, you son of a bitch, Larry.
It's like, Larry, stop. Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this? Don't eat the napkin.
And then it was like, oh, sorry, Larry.
Unfortunately, Larry's friends aren't smart enough to realize that when somebody starts going from a conversation to shoveling fistfuls of food into their mouth, that something might be wrong with them.
Yo, when he grabbed the other guy's plate, I was like, this is serious.
I was like, damn.
This is like, come on, man.
This is like,
I know you're away from 2 weeks away from a promotion, but come on.
It's like family day at fat camp.
Oh man.
Sorry guys. But no, the actor who played it did a really good job on the role. Like when he went like, I was like, shoot in.
Because he was like, hey, he was like,
it's like, that's how I get when like I'm eating sushi. My girlfriend's like, can I get one of those? No,
no.
Those are my rolls.
Yes, that's very true. I don't let anyone, I let my wife. She takes from my plate. I'm not completely happy about it, but you know, I do allow her to take from my plate. Sometimes I'm like, no, hold it back. Hold it back.
I'm just watching this video and noticing how crazy my hair is. I look like a freaking mad scientist right now. Sorry, I'm getting over a fever, guys, and that's why my voice is a little nasally too. And I look insane on camera. Well, I'm pulling the Dreyfus look today.
But it's a very good insane.
I look like Dreyfus today. Not as skinny, but we'll see. So first off, let's go through Diane's storyline, and then we'll get into some other stuff. So Diane meets with the assistant secretary, attorney, something.
Assistant secretary of the DOJ, I think.
Yeah, and she's like, now I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that I'm batshit crazy. But there's this guy.
His name is Dreyfus. And I think he may be indirectly responsible or directly responsible for the death of everyone's favorite security guard, who was 2 days from retirement. Who disappeared.
Who just vanished into thin air. I love that we got the call back to the security guard.
Yo, because you and I were like, yes.
Never thought we'd hear from him ever again.
Man,
his daughter died in the hospital.
Yep.
He
3 days
vanished
from
without straight.
retirement, man.
In fact, because he didn't have any surviving family members, all of his 401k and everything went to the government. It's a really sad story.
Man.
This guy has a really sad story. Have you picked up his biography at Barnes & Noble?
Yeah. It's
Killed by Job.
I almost had it all.
Killed
by Job, I almost had it all.
2 days from retirement, hopefully my daughter will survive in the hospital. Because he died before we even found out she died.
Dawn of Justice.
If you guys have no idea what we're talking about right now, go back and watch.
Episode 3? Was it episode 3 or 4, something like that? I know it was early on.
Whenever Job went and stole the ley line maps.
Yeah, he stole the ley line maps. So when he goes in there, there's this security guard that he, comes up on him. And you get this cool kind of like Vader moment where he holds him up and everything. And then he leaves him there. And it's like, oh, this is kind of like a pretty cool horror moment. And then he turns him into...
All we are is dust in the wind.
That's right. Just dust in the wind.
All right, so back to this. Sorry, that was a huge tangent. I was just really excited. So the DOJ lady is telling her that it's a personal vendetta and is like, you need to get off it. But she also said, like, this is flimsy, so you need more before we can move forward. So indirectly giving permission.
Yeah, because
pleading the fifth a little bit.
I'm glad that she wasn't completely against it. She was just like, you need way more research than this. I'm surprised she didn't bring up the tablet thing with the witch signs.
I know, right? Like that just kind of got forgotten.
That's a huge thing that should have been a massive recall in DC public schools.
To be fair, though, like they'd be like, "Oh no, it's just the chip. That's just how the chip's designed." We have that. We have that little sign. It's copyrighted. Dreyfus Industries.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Nobody believes in this stuff. Come on.
Yeah. Only the people that really know the truth. Like Jake, Alex, Jenny, Ichabod,
the
Diane,
security guard.
The security guard who
the late security guard.
And Larry.
Let's also give a moment of silence for the security guard who was working the gate at the underground facility.
Oh, man.
Who really did not need to go to the van and get killed by scarred up previous partner of Dreyfus.
Previous partner, like...
that got stabbed in the end, and now we don't have that cool character anymore, but whatever. Yeah. So she's working on that, but she's kind of like taking this way. She is taking a personal vendetta.
Yeah.
And she's hiding things from Ichabod and the team about going behind the back to send Alex and Jake on missions like, okay, so use your SIM card reader and track his assistant. So if he calls the assistant, we can locate him. Which isn't bad because it's good to locate Dreyfus, but at the same time, like, let Ichabod and them know about it because otherwise...
Yeah, because you're running sort of like shadow ops outside of this group that is already a shadow operation, and it's kind of like you don't lie to friends. You just don't do it.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't we already go through this storyline before with teammates not informing people of stuff, or is this another show that I'm thinking of?
It might have been this one on like another season.
Yeah, where they're like, you can't do that because you have to depend on us. You can't put a... I think it was the strain. The strain. Never mind.
Yeah.
It just felt very familiar. So she's like doing her own thing, trying to track down Dreyfus.
True.
Meanwhile, Ichabod's worrying about this whole like people eating people problem.
Yeah, because it's an issue. And the good thing is that we actually see people, acting out these like different, like hunger, pain, kind of cannibalistic stuff, between each other, but in front of people. So it makes it scarier, and you get more of a kind of like horror moment from these scenes, which I was just like, because you even with the DOJ lady. And speaking of looking strange, when they ran up on the lady that was just eating, the DOJ lady that was just eating someone, even the police were just in shock watching it. And I was like, yes, this is what we want to see. More of this.
Bath salts.
You're in the middle. You're in the middle of DC, which is a major metropolitan area. We want to see pandemonium. We want to see people like shocked that they're seeing this crazy stuff. Like 2 men just dying in the middle of a bar. And everybody's like, hey, whatever. But like, hey,
Pandora.
Yeah, but it was.
Wait, no,
real
that wasn't
cool.
Pandora. That was the witches. That was the witches.
Yeah. But it was very cool to see that people are responding and reacting to this. Like, what is going on with this lady? And they had to put her down, unfortunately.
And that's what's sad, right? Because what I would have liked to see is the DOJ lady. Forgot her name because they introduced her and killed her.
Yes.
Like they do with so many other characters. Is okay. Diane and this lady, side storyline, kind of cool. Makes sense that more people in the government are being brought into the fold on this Dreyfus investigation.
Yes.
So why do we have to kill her off? Why can't we have somebody else on their side, at least in the government that we have like out there, to at least make us think?
Yeah.
But no, they're like, let's turn her into the hunger thing and have it eat people instead of just having her be directly introduced to somebody who's trying to eat her and have Diane or Jenny save her, and then she's more on their side, and then there's like more stuff happening.
Because she's sort of getting a peek behind the veil. Maybe, the lady's trying to eat her, and then of course Ichabod said out loud that it's in the walls. Maybe she, she looks up at the vent and she does see something red there, but she can't reconcile it, and then she's kind of like, what is going on? This is not normal.
It's Dreyfus's new robot.
Yeah,
he made a robot.
Especially since Dreyfus likes to like lean on politicians and like you can be buried and stuff like that, and kind of like see him maybe try to intimidate her, and it doesn't work. And maybe he figures it would be cool to have another Dreyfus have a fight on another front from a government perspective. That's not on the supernatural side, but them chasing him after, maybe like the crime side, or maybe he was cheating on his taxes.
Like, oh my God, you are directly contributing to this terrible stuff that's happening. Like the cell phone thing could have been traced back to him, you'd think.
Yes.
But actually, that was the Instagram video of the guy who's now going to be Pestilence, which we'll get to that.
AKA Justin Bieber Jr.
Yeah. We have Ira Guerra saying, how did he survive the blast? He didn't. We're talking about the demon from the past. So we get introduced to the demon, which is a hunger demon that Job releases from a Chinese puzzle box.
Yes. Sort of like Hellraiser.
Yeah, so the demon basically feeds on people. It's gluttony in a way. It's a hunger demon. It makes people hungry and they eat stuff, and it feeds on what they eat or it feeds on them.
It sucks them dry, I guess.
Yeah, so let's see here. So the demon does that stuff. We get Larry, poor Larry, getting killed among a steak dinner. And then we also get the hunger demon killing the woman. What was the point I was going for here? The Donner Party.
Yeah.
So we find out that Ichabod knows the guy named Reed, who when he was a British officer, they came upon the guys with the Bostonians, which was kind of funny, referencing the Bostonians and their tea. And the guy's down there just trying to solve the puzzle box. Says he's going to bring it back to his daughter. Yeah. Find out later that their entire troop was killed of starvation or died of starvation. Ichabod had heard that, but didn't really think more of it until now when he sings, "Oh, I've seen this box before." And then we tie it back to the Donner Party, where Reed's descendant was in the Donner Party, and the demon followed them back from there.
Yep.
Which means that the demon that killed the first party found his son somehow through bloodline or whatever.
And then also probably following the box because maybe he's attracted to it or whatever.
Yeah. So then they use him as bait to send him into this cave, then they throw the dynamite, and what kills the monster is the fact that it vaporizes gold in the cave and kills the monster with the gold. We find that the weakness is gold. And then we find that the Donner Party started the California Gold Rush.
Yes, it did. It was good to see Diane say,
This doesn't make sense to anyone except us. Yeah.
Yes. It was cool to get that moment for them to realize, like, we definitely live crazy lives. Like, we live some crazy lives. It's cool to get that one moment from them.
For some reason, I think of Charlie Murphy. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, because it's the theories that they have. If you came up to a normal person, was like, "Hey, man, did you know that there was like this weird demon that killed Lincoln? He wasn't shot. It was like he poked him, and then the reason they chopped off the head is to release this demon, and it killed a couple of people." You'd be like, "Uh-huh." Yeah.
No, you got.
Let me introduce you to some people that I think can help you. You're gonna have to put on this jacket. It's gonna keep your arms.
You're just gonna have like a press conference, like, dieting is great. It's the best thing, but there is a hunger demon out there that I have yet to fire. Like, just imagine everyone's just like, America's only a beast because of the hunger demon.
It's just the hunger demon, man. Reel it in. It's gonna be okay.
Guys, it's not my genetics. It's just a hunger demon.
It's a hunger demon.
I need you to not judge me based on my internal hunger demon.
I'm sort of almost dead, but I'm not really dead because he's like, eat, okay, and then he just like leaves.
I got my hunger demon bypass surgery.
I don't think that that's covered under Blue Cross or Anthem or whatever. I don't think they cover that.
Well, what happened to Jenny Craig? Fucking hunger demon, guys.
Hunger demon, man, put her out of business.
I know, but it's like, what is the girl who played Precious? Gabourey? Was it Gabourey Sidibe?
I can't think of her name.
Gabourey Sidibe?
Gaborny. Can I think of her name? But Precious, yes.
No, it is Gabourey Sidibe. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And she's giving her like acceptance award. Like, I'd like to thank the hunger demon.
I'd like to thank the hunger demon.
I'm gonna get hate for that. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna be in super trouble.
We're in like non-PC territory right here.
We love you and we love Empire. It was lapse in judgment. We love Precious too. Precious.
It's like you watch
Precious, amazing movie.
Cloverfield Lane, and you just see John Goodman in his little cabin. He's got like a little hunger demon. Like,
oh man, it's the hunger demon. It attacks everyone.
It does.
You know,
the hunger demons. I blame the hunger demon for this.
I blame the hunger demon every day. And I mean, when you got like every day, it's like hunger demon wants some wings.
Olsen twins should probably find themselves a hunger demon.
Oh, well.
They got their own demons to worry about. So, moving on.
We're not getting invited to any Full House or Marvel films.
We've just pissed off at least 20 people.
Yes.
Cool. So, moving on. Weird scene was when they're discovering what this hunger demon is. And, like, the hunger demon comes out of this box. You can, like, either release it, capture it, kill it, or whatever. It's basically a die. You do a saving throw and see if it survives. And it was really weird because Jake was like, oh, it looks like this is a puzzle box from the Qing Dynasty.
Yes.
And that's the correct way of pronouncing Qing if you're going to use the Chinese way of saying it.
Yes.
And then Jenny, who's supposed to be like the most archaeological person of them all, goes and meets up with her friend, who is an Asian dude.
Yes.
And she's like, it's from the Qing Dynasty.
Yes.
And nobody bats an eye. And I'm like, wait, why did they try to do the proper pronunciation for Jake and then just have Jenny completely ignored in the next scene?
Maybe.
With the guy who's an expert on all this. Not because he's Asian, but because of that. That is literally his job, is researching all these artifacts.
He's at the Asian herb store.
And he's a cool character. I want him back.
Yes. We need kind of like the guy that can kind of get the items that we need instead of them just being too coincidental, I guess you could say.
So he's like researching this thing called the Gjallarhorn, which is a Viking. It's a North mythology thing. It's a drinking horn. But he's like, yeah, there's some dude who's just paying big bucks for these things. And Jenny's like thinking, and you hear the obvious suspenseful music playing. I'm like, oh, okay, so this guy is finding artifacts for Dreyfus. So Jenny's thinking of taking this job so she can be closer to knowing what Dreyfus is looking for.
Yes.
Which is kind of an interesting, very subtle. I hope that's what they were actually going for, because that's what I picked up on.
I'd like to see her go out, because since this is episode 10, we got 3 left. It would be nice to see her disappear for 2, and come back on the finale and, you know, show up and like, hey guys, you know, I got the special piece, you know, that Dreyfuss wanted, and I can at least, I don't know, maybe put this on hold until season 5 or something like that. Like I can at least put this on hold or pause it or, you know, injure him in some way or something, you know, something special.
Meanwhile, we got Ichabod and the team trying to figure out what Job was doing, and we got a cool scene with Job walking through the metal detectors, and they got like he's got like spikes and horns and stuff. We're like, oh dang! And they look.
And the
back.
guy was like, huh? And I'm gonna be honest. Look, if you're working, look, is it TSA? The TSA guys.
Security. If you're working 12 hours and then you see that,
guys,
you're like,
all right, all my TSA people out there. Look, if someone walks through the machine and you see horns all over their body and muscles and I don't know, skeleton or whatever, send them back through. Don't just be like, oh, it's gone. No, make him go back through. They make us go back through. If I have a set of keys in my pocket, I got to go back through the thing. Mr. Skeleton Man just gets to go, I guess he's okay, and he just goes through. It doesn't work like that. Make them go back through, man. You're secure it.
if you're walking through a metal detector and the security guard sees horns and spikes on your shoulders, you just might be a demon.
Just might be a demon.
If your sole purpose for going to City Hall is to open up a Chinese trap box and unleash a hunger demon, you just might be a demon.
Only so many people will get this right here.
If you get in a fight with a man with a baseball bat covered in symbols and tattooed all over his body, and he seals you in amber for more than a few days, and then you come out unscathed, you just might be a demon. If you break into the Smithsonian exhibit to steal some ley line maps and manage to put a security guard in the air before making him dissipate into nothingness 2 days from retirement, you just might be a demon.
Oh, man.
If you show up after somebody gets in a car accident and promise to give them back their life in exchange for their soul, you just might be a demon.
You know what? We can do this all. Because Job, it's funny, even though Job kind of like stays in the background, he's done tons of stuff. And even when I said when he's on the security footage, I'm like, well, he probably doesn't care because he's like, what are you going to do? Put me in jail? I'm a demon.
Right.
Like, I'll just like do some mystical stuff and like walk out. Like, he doesn't really care about security. But the way he looked at the security camera was just like, he's just like, hey guys.
Hi.
And it's just funny because he was not trying to sneak around at all. He just walked in and just like, oh, got my little box. I'm just walking around. Like, you'd think he would come through like the back door and kind of like sneak in and
no, he's just like straight through
the front door, horns and all, straight through the front door.
If you get unsealed from an old 19th century lamp and come out with a girl tying bondage ropes to you in a sealed salt container while wearing nothing but a leather tarp, you just might be a demon.
Even though like Joe was standing there like, what up, girl?
If you are a fucking demon, you just might be a demon.
Oh man,
I want to see his true form. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
I want that moment.
I wonder if we're gonna get that. That could be kind of cool. See his true form. You know, that could be real cool. You know, I mean, not like Frieza true form, but like demon true form.
This isn't even my final form.
This isn't even my final form. Yeah, we nerded out just for a second, but we're gonna bring it back. And welcome to the Sleepy Hollow after show. How you doing, Stephen?
I'm doing pretty good. Making a lot of shitty jokes today, and
I like those jokes. Those are good.
Getting a little off track today. Real quick, let's rush through the end of this. So the really cool thing that we were kind of right about, kind of not about, was that they're bringing the Four Horsemen back.
Yes.
We find out that Headless escaped and is just kind of really wounded and like mangled, and he's just like, I'm gonna text 911
Yeah. Well, he got shot twice with like the special bullets, and I guess the bullets are still lodged in him, so they're still affecting. You know, once they take him out, he'll be okay. You know, I just saw the chat.
Somebody in the chat's like, he's got to have it for personal space. Welcome to the personal space store.
It's personal space. But I know, like, I figure once they get the bullets out of him, he'll, I guess, normally regenerate. I guess, and then he'll be death, and they only need one more, which is war, which is who? That's right.
Yeah,
familial tie.
Honestly, like if they find that jelly, if they find that sweet grape jelly sitting in that jar, the sun jelly,
that nasty, that jar of like tobacco spit.
If you have Ichabod's son's face formed out of black jelly sitting in a jar in the library, you just might need some personal space.
Personal space.
1, personal space. 2, you need a new cap on that jar. But 3, more personal space. Because you're kind of trapped in a jar right now. You could really use some personal space.
It's, oh boy.
As far as we know, Job is very horny, is what Jacob Helmer said. God damn it.
You know what? It's...
Jacob, I'm sorry, I'm getting over being sick, guys. This after show is all over the fucking place. I apologize.
We needed that, and thank you, sir. That was good. It was.
I'd like to see them get Henry out of that jar and make him.
I'm ready to see Henry back. I want to see them all in their like full strength.
Yeah.
And see what our team can do against them, because I assume that we're going to get the pandemonium that we should get with all of those, you know, kind of like people dying and, you know, flies and stuff and fires and, you know, cool things.
So,
I mean, cool for us because we're watching.
Who do you think is going to be war?
I hope that is going to be, you know, good old Henry, but
I know, but whose body?
Well, I'm hoping that it's his. The actor comes back, maybe.
No, I know, but whose body is he going to possess to come back?
Oh.
And I don't think they can afford Henry Parrish anymore, or whatever his name is. I love that actor. I just can't think of it right now.
Maybe, I don't know. All right, so they got the Justin Bieber guy. They got the lady from the DOJ. Maybe someone. I'm trying to think. Maybe someone, because they got someone who's very popular. Got someone who's powerful in the government. I'm trying to think what else they. Maybe someone who's. Well, no, they kind of like maybe someone that's
I have 2 paths that it can go, right?
Or something, or another corporate giant. Maybe?
I got 2 paths, right? Mm-hmm. One path leads to his ex-partner.
Oh.
The body of the ex-partner.
Cool.
And they take him and they put Henry on him somehow, or it ends up that way. The other path, which I wouldn't like to see because they've kind of went down this road before, is Jenny.
Yeah, hopefully not Jenny. Jenny's too good for that. I think you know, I hope not Jenny. But yeah, I would love to see his partner back.
Yeah. Because
that was a cool character. Because when we had that opening with the bat, we were like, yo, who is this guy? This guy is sweet.
Yeah.
Like, it's a nice it's good to have a third party that has a beef with Dreyfus just for his own reasons. I think shows don't do that enough. You know, they usually just have 2 sides. I would like to see, you know, shows where there's a third party that just has their own, you know, bone to pick with this person. I think it could, you know, shake things up.
The only other option I can think of is Dreyfus himself. Or the way he was looking at Job, trying to force Job into that role.
Okay. Now, one thing that was interesting is when he told the Headless that he would never Welsh on a deal, and Job looked at him like, really?
I never Welsh on a deal.
And Joe was like, oh, you don't? Because I think you did. but
I'm going to just talk to you real quick. I see that you're missing a head. That may be a problem. Let's just make you...
Kids shouldn't wish on stars. It's like
that was the douchiest monologue. You know those like guys who are like super atheist, but they're like atheist to the point of like, I'm atheist, honestly, I am, but like to the point of like just shitting on everyone else who believes in religion or whatever. They're just like they're so pompous, they're like so full of them. Like, oh, you're still believing in that 16th century thing. Oh, you're just ridiculous. I know physics and I know science and evolution. It's
and
like
stars.
It's cool to like it's cool to like believe in science and all that. It's cool to have your beliefs or whatever. It was just that really pompous attitude.
Yeah, it was kind of like a self-righteous-y kind of.
It's like, oh, who wishes on stars, man? We just are assigning stupid meanings to stars which are a million miles apart. It's like you just fucking smoked like 3 joints and wanted to talk about the sky.
And it's funny.
Isn't it crazy, man?
It would be
how,
great to get the inner monologue thoughts from Job when he goes on these tirades, and Job's just like, I got clothes to wash at home.
Like, do I really have to hang out with this guy for eternity? Like, shit.
Man, God, can we just?
But like,
can we just raise?
If you just imagine that Dreyfus is high in every single scene, and you're just like, God damn, this dude is high. It's like,
what is wrong with this guy?
Hey, Michael, dude. You know how like we have constellations, right?
Yeah.
But like, what does that even mean? Like the stars are so unrelated from each other. Like we're just a little perspective on the galaxy. When if you go to that star, it's got a completely different perspective on the galaxy, man.
That's a good point.
You can have like we can see like a horse or something, but if we go to that galaxy, they could be seeing like a different kind of horse.
Okay. And that's what I do with those people. I'm like, I see you. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Well, that's our show, guys. So
we do have one thing.
All right.
Well, that too, but also remember the opening. We had a little button, a little relationship,
a little
relationship.
And Jenny's getting a little jealous. She's like, I'm gonna get a new job now because he's got a new girl.
Jenny and Alex look like they might be a little uneasy about Missy.
It's kind of funny that they're like causing the love triangle to be around Jake.
Yeah, because it's like, Jake's like, hey, I like Jenny. She's like, no, I don't like you. Then he's like, all right, cool. Then he gets Missy, then everybody's just like, what's he doing with a girl?
Bitch. I'm gonna open this beer really angry like.
She's like, but it was cool because later on you see Alex call him charming. I'm like, oh, because he saved her life, what, twice now? Once or twice. He saved her. She's looking at him like, Jake's kind of, Jake's got his little flow with him.
If you've got 3 really attractive women trying to win you over, but they don't admit it, you just might be a player.
That's right. A smooth player.
Kill it, Jake.
So can we do
we have
the
no more time.
tradition? No more time?
We're at 4:00.
All right, we're gonna do it though.
We'll do it next week.
Next week
with our special guest. We're not gonna be taping at 3 p.m. next week because I'm flying back in from San Francisco and I won't be there in time to watch and tape. But probably like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
We have.
Do we want to say?
Rachel Melvin coming in for next week, which is Alex on the show. Yeah. Reach out to her on Twitter, emailed, so we got her booked for next week. So Alex will be in to talk about next week of Sleepy Hollow, which is almost the penultimate, but not the penultimate. This week was episode 10, correct?
Yep, and we'll be doing episode 11.
The Way of the Gun. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a Jenny heavy episode. So,
yes.
In the meanwhile, where can we find you and your Hunger Demon?
You can find me and my Hunger Demon online at One Youngster, which is ONEYOUNGSTA. You can also find me on Popcorn Talk Network doing Jedi Alliance. It's super duper fun talking about Star Wars. And guess what? I'm also now on Black Hollywood Live, Nerd Soul on Black Hollywood Live. All you have to do is search up Nerd Soul or go to youtube.com/Black Hollywood Live. It's pretty dope.
And you guys can find me and my Hunger Demon crying into a box of Chipotle with 3 burritos unwrapped in front of me.
Yes.
Joking. Hopefully you can find me recovering from this sickness next week on the After Show and on Twitter at Stephen Lemieux, STPHENLEMIUX. Shout out to Amy Gonzalez, Jacob Albers, Billie Jean Girl 24, Kristen Collins, Ira Garis, Lisa Garis. Oh, you got 2 of them in there.
What?
Thank you guys all for watching. Carly To Lee. Make sure you comment after this video is over so we can see your comments and reply, and tweet us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, yes.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
If you get kicked out of Golden Corral, you just might be a hunger demon.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.